Alright, we're live. So, I've got a late night session here and I'm working on OpenPlayground, and there's just one thing I want to focus on, and that is I've been working on this presets UI, this presets panel for the playground. I think it's pretty nice. And what I'm going to try and do now is to put this in a panel that comes out from the left of the screen, rather than have it as a drop down here, so that it doesn't take up any real estate on the screen. It just on the main layout, it will just come in from the side when needed and close when you load a preset. So I'm going to try that. I may also try a modal, but we're going to go with this side panel idea first. I kind of like the idea of that, so here we go. So in this app so far, I haven't got any panels coming in from the left or right, but I've done a little bit of work on a component for that. So first thing I'm going to do is just try and get some kind of expandable panel working. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file in my components folder, and I'm going to call it right draw. I've heard these expandable panels be referred to as drawers before, like you pull out a drawer. But do I want to call it that? Could call it. Let's go for this for now. Right draw. So I'm going to get something really basic here, and then we're going to integrate it into the playground view file. So I'm going to have a class called right draw, and obviously I'm using Copilot here, so I've got some suggested code which we'll check out. Right draw, going to pass it a container, which is going to be a HTML div. This is following the pattern that I've laid out in previous components pretty well. I'm going to accept that. Now we've got some TypeScript complaints. Oh, clearly got some missing imports. Let's create a right draw.html for this component. So right draw, I think it's probably going to only be one of them in the app, so let's call this ID right draw. And for now, let's just put hello. Yes. Alright then. So that's going to be the HTML we're going to start with. Now I'm going to import that into my component code. Just going to import that as a raw HTML string, and then let's not worry about any CSS for now. So that's that. Now what's this next issue? I don't need to do that for now. Let's not worry about that for now. So I should be instantiating this class, and then it's with a div container passing to it, and then it should render. So now we're going to go to the playground view and import that. So let's import. No, actually, I could make this even higher than the. Just thinking about where to put this logic. Maybe the view, the base view class that I have, which each view extends from, I could have it in here, have a method to show the right draw. Or I could put it, this is where this commented out code is what I've experimented with before. I could put it here, but I don't think that makes sense anymore, because I'm putting it here when it was a navigation, expandable navigation panel, which I think makes sense to be in the higher up in the hierarchy. So in the main, which is the entry point into the app, I think that made sense. But now, let me just experiment with this. Actually, let's put it, we can always move it up. So let's start with it in the playground. Right draw component in this view. So, which is, the playground view is this view. We're working in here, and we want the panel coming out. Expandable button, panel coming out to the left. So, I'm going to add a few things to my class here. We're going to have the right panel itself. It's going to be the right panel component class, and we're going to have let's say that the toggle right panel button, which is going to be a button element, and it's going to have the toggle right panel. We're going to have the show presets button. Show presets button. Show presets button. Okay, so now I'm gonna add that button to my HTML for the playground view. So currently we have the presets panel up here, and I'm going to grab that, comment that, so that should be gone. The button, that's okay. Now it's gone, or near enough. Now I'll put the button, a button with an ID, show presets button, and let's just say it's text is presets for now, and let's see what we have. Let's get it out of there. Got presets, right, so we're going to make it look different than that. Not going to do much for it now, but let's just start with this class presets. I think it'd be nice to have a little icon as well to show the expandable nature of it. So I'm using font awesome, so it's, what is this? So going to be like a chevron right. Just need a little bit more space there, so I've got a little margin left class. I think that's fairly nice for now. So we're going to click that, and then the panel is going to come out. So back to the playground view code. We've got the show presets button, and now we're going to hook that up to a listener that's going to trigger the opening of the panel. So I have my method init listeners, where I'm setting up all of my various buttons and listeners. So I'm gonna, it's getting pretty long now. Go to the bottom, near enough to the bottom, and this is where we're gonna set up our click listener. Now I don't want that, I'm gonna open the presets panel, right, draw. This is what we're going to try. So I do want to have presets panel. Do I want it like that? Presets panel, I think so. I want this to be a toggle. So let's say, hopefully, yeah, okay. To implement that. Now let's implement that toggle presets panel. The presets panel, we already, okay. We're going to have the right, this should be right draw. Right draw. Maybe I could call this the presets draw. Let's not worry about that for now. Let's just get something showing. So when this is called, I just want to load some kind of panel, show some kind of panel. So what it's going to be is I'm going to have, when the page is loaded, I'm going to render the presets draw, but it's going to have a hidden class on it, and then the toggle presets panel is just going to toggle that class hidden, or it might be, or something like that. I'd like it maybe a little bit of animation coming in from the left, so I may have to do something else, but that's going to be the general pattern. So in that case, let's just do that first. Let's render it and have it open by default so that we can see what's happening. So in the constructor, this is where I want to start some kind of right draw. So let's say init right draw, and yeah, we've got our right draw component, and yeah, we're going to have a container called right draw. Let's do that. Playground view, and we're going to have Now this actually now makes me think I maybe do want this in a higher place in the hierarchy, because I'm going to reuse this over different. Alright, I'm going to go to index.html, and where we've got the app, we've got the nav, which is at the top, will be at the top, and we've got the view, which is what we're working in now. But let's put a right draw in there. So then the playground view class, yeah, that's going to query for that right draw to get the container. That makes sense. And now we just want something in it. We've got hello, I'm the right draw up there, which is our content. Now we just need to get the CSS right to make it a panel, an overlay. So let me go back to main where I've prototyped this code before. How does it work? Got an expand button. Maybe I didn't get too far with that. Well, it wants to be, this is going to be something I'm either going to get Copilot to come up with, or I'm going to be Googling it fairly soon. When I say Google, I of course mean u.com. So now if I go to my right draw component, and I go to my right draw HTML, let me do a comment here, see if I can stimulate some good suggestions from Copilot. So this is going to be a an expandable overlay coming in from the right. And now let me get some style tags and let's see if Copilot's going to give us any suggestions. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I'm looking for, the position logic. Position fixed I think is along the right lines. This is obviously way too much, but I'm going to take that looks handy as well. So where is it then? Is it here? I should probably deal with this error, otherwise import preset button is gone. Yeah, because I've removed loads of stuff. So let's bring that stuff back, and that way all of my previous logic doesn't break. Okay, so now I want to see my content. So we're instantiating it there. Yep, so this should be, so let's see that we have the right stuff here. So right draw container equals that. Now I can log it and just make sure it exists. Yeah, the right draw is there, and that is the HTML file we've just been working on. So interesting that okay. Right, so I can't see it. I suppose the CSS is I haven't given it a class. Let's give it, there we go. Open. Oh, here we go. There's this something. It's on the wrong side. this needs to be left. There we go. Okay, now we're talking. So background color, let's just make it yeah, this is the right kind of thing. Let's put a little bit of a border on it, I think. So border right. That'll do. Now then, this is where I want to get the expanding and collapsing behavior working. So I should probably get a little button at the top there. So this seems to be all already along the right lines. So if I put a button, class close button, that is along the right lines. Let's make it a little bit smaller, and I want it to be a so let's say outline, and let's get a chevron left. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want. So it's a bit too far over. That's about right. That's going to be your clickable, and we can get rid of this now. Yeah, this is an experiment. Am I going to like this? Well, let's get this collapse behavior working. I'm sure I'll use this component at some point, so I'm going to have the close draw button. That's how I'm going to call it. And now I'm going to create a listener in my right draw component for that. So let's get this component to know about close. Just call it the close button here, can't we? Yeah, let's call it the close button. Close button, close button, and then we're going to have a method here, edit listeners. That's how I like to set these up. So the close button, and then it's going to call close. Click that, you call this dot close. This dot close removes the open class. I think this will work. Didn't work. So I'm going to click it. It's because this doesn't exist. Close button doesn't exist when that's being clicked. Not sure I like that. Is that how it goes? On click? And everywhere else I've been using add event listener, which I've been so close. Let's just that's going to remove the open class on the container. That is what we want. So getting any errors? No. Close button. If I put this in a render, I'm just thinking that this close button may not exist. No, that's not going to help. I know that works. Let's just make sure it exists and is being called. That is the button. And this is being called. I'm pretty sure. So I think I know what's happening. This isn't necessarily what we want. We want this container is not the one we're after. So there's some confusion here. So in index.html we've got this right drawer. I'm going to call that the right. Should I call that the right drawer? I call that the right drawer container. And then in it we're going to have the right drawer. So go back to the right drawer, and then we're going to actually have the drawer div, which is going to be, we could probably just call it, have it as class. No, let's have it. Yeah, it's only ever going to be one thing with drawer in here. So let's just simplify that to drawer. Now got the drawer, and then it's actually going to be this dot. Could probably just call that drawer. And now we're not seeing it, so it should by default be open. It's because I've changed the name of the container, so this is the right drawer. Well, now we can just call that right drawer, because we've got because inside that we've just got something with an ID drawer. Okay, so this is open, and there you go. Look at that. Right, now I need to have it open. So let's get the show presets button, toggling this. So let's have my let's have this class no. You know what? Now I'm seeing it. In the view class, this is where we have the, this is at the level we refer to the right drawer document. What's going on here? Right drawer, because what I want to do is do this dot right drawer dot toggle. Yeah. And I might want to do that in all of the other views as well. So I think this is the way to go. So the view, we're going to move this stuff about creating the right drawer component into the view. Into the constructor. I'm going to need to do some some stuff here. Now that this is no longer the default, needs to take these things. Okay. Container, HTML, and CSS. Good. Copilot knows. This can just be a HTML element. That's that. That's that. Good. Right, so actually, all that stuff we did in here, this right drawer, that's gonna become something more basic and more common to everything that's a view. Everything that's a view has access to this right drawer, which you can open and close, and you can just set the content inside it. That's what's going to happen. So right drawer, it's going to be right drawer, and this is going to be this dot right drawer, and feeling quite good about that. So now I need to go to the playground view and have that preset button open the drawer. So show presets button is going to call this dot right drawer dot toggle. So the right drawer component needs a toggle. So toggle. Okay. That's all is required. Toggle. That's great. So yes, that is quite nice. Right. So now the final thing is to put this stuff inside of there. It's going to be much wider. I may not like this in the end, but this is what we're going to try. So all this stuff's going to go inside the drawer. Okay. So that stuff is currently here. Here. So I could extract that out and for now, just to test this approach, I'm just gonna copy it from here, comment it out, and I'm just going to inject that as part of the JavaScript code. So when we create the playground view, we're gonna so in the render function we have the render presets table. We're gonna render this. That's gonna be the same. Render presets table. Just got to put it all in the drawer. So that's all going to be the same. It's where the presets table container lives that makes the difference. So when we set up the view, let's have a method init right drawer. Let's try this. So I'm going to create a HTML element, and I'm just going to whack all of that stuff I just copied in there, and I'm going to just put that in the drawer. So how do I do that? I want to refer to the drawer. Where are we creating the? Oh yeah, it's in the view. It's in the view. So I can now go. I can now say append this to the right drawer. Could do this dot right drawer dot drawer. That's what it's called. Yeah, we will have drawer body or something, but let's do that because yeah, the view, which is now part of this, the right drawer is the right drawer component, and that component has the HTML elements which we are going to append or insert all of that presets panel stuff into. So I think this, let's skip that for now. It's a mess, but let's just see if it works. So yeah, that's somewhat. What's all this? What's not working? The import preset button is not working. Yeah, well that makes sense, doesn't it? Because the preset, because I've bloody removed all of this stuff. Let's keep it there again for now. So this is this stuff here. So this is right. This is along the right lines here. I'm gonna keep going on this, and we're gonna get there. So first thing I want to do is just change the color of that background slightly. That'd be a little lighter. Don't want it to be too dark. Yeah, yeah, I'll do. So let's put the table in there now then. This is going to be where it starts to get pretty. So, and then we're going to tidy this all up and put it in its own file. But now we're going to, yes, I want to do the render the table, render presets table. And all we need to do is this container needs to be something else. So this presets table container, where is it? It's here. So instead of this, we do want this. We have it. Presets table container. So now I am going to comment it out from here, because this is now getting in the way. But we're going to have some errors because of some broken listeners, so I have to fix those. The import preset button no longer exists. Well, that's wrong because it's there, but I'm not pointing to the right place. So the import preset button is currently now, yes, so this is expecting that this element is findable by the time the constructor is finished running, which will be the case. So you init right drawer, So there should be is there an import preset import preset button is there, but we have it as null. So we're going to create the view, and then we're going to set up the right drawer with this HTML, and then we want to assign the listeners. I believe that's what we should be doing. That's what I think it should be doing. So this.container.append body. That's not what we want to do. Don't need that. Well, let's just comment out the import preset. I can do this, right? And then if it doesn't exist, it won't complain. Yeah, that has worked, and now I've got to do the same for the hide example thing. Okay. Boom. Right, now we're going to put the table in there. And then we're going to get it all working nice. So the render presets table should now be finding this presets table container there, but clearly it's not. So let's just confirm the suspicion that it is null. It's null. So I suppose what I should be doing is, well, this needs to somehow be part of the DOM, but it should be. It should be. So this document.query selector, that's not finding this body element which is in the drawer. And we can see it on the screen, so it is part of the DOM. So let me test this. So let me see here. Yes, now that's null. But if this was body, then it's finding it. No, it is finding it. It's finding it. It is finding it. It's finding it here. But it's not finding it. I'm under the I believe that these assignments run after the constructor is run, and therefore this would work, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I could try running this or I could just assign these here, which makes a lot of sense. For instance, when we're setting up the drawer, we're assigning this. So makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. So don't want to put this somewhere else now. To his own file. Call it presets panel or something. Let's put it in the components. New file, presets panel.html. It's going to go in there. That's nice, you see? That's nice. And then this is going to be presets panel HTML, which we are going to import. Presets. That's right. So yes. So that's not running. Should be erroring. So anyway, the import preset button is being set here now. And same thing with the checkbox. And then the table. Presets table container. This dot presets table container. Right, and that is setting up the right drawer, putting the presets panel HTML in it, and we are assigning those attributes to those HTML elements, and now they should be available by the listeners. So by my logic, this should now work. And look, it sort of has. Now we just need to make it sort out the layout. First thing is, it needs to be a lot wider. So let's go to the right drawer HTML, and I just want it to be as wide as it needs to be. So it's not going to happen, is it? Not like that anyway. Width 100%. Wow. Well, I want it to be at most some percentage. I think I could like this. I want it to be at most. It's going to vary based on screen size, but I'm on a large screen here, so let's say it's going to be at most 50 vertical. That's not 50 vertical height. Let's say I'm using my taste here, but so you need to move this stuff out of the way, and I will do that right now, in fact, because it's very annoying. So with my little header, got that set up already, so I'm going to keep that there just in case I end up not liking what I'm doing. Presets table. Where are you? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, well, I tell you, it definitely will be assigned, so that fixes you. And for the presets table, I want the title. So let me go to the presets table, because I have a data table component which will handle that for me. So new data table, and the title is of course presets. This drawer needs a bit of padding, so the drawer padding. Yeah, this is where we're going to have our body. Yes, this is where we're going to have dot body. Live dot body. And this is where I'm going to put the stuff. So see body. Yeah, go on. ID. Yeah, to do that really. No, because then no, that will get complaints. Might end up calling something else. Let's make these class. Absolute class. So now I will be able to do change in the init right drawer. I'm actually going to be appending it to the body. I could have something like right drawer dot set body, which could be nicer, but this is fine. Right, and now we're going to be able to add that much needed. Let's have margin. Yeah, there we go. It's coming together. The button's not working anymore. It's because I've changed it. Have I? Right drawer, close button. Don't think I have. Close button, dot close button. Right drawer, class, close button. Must have an error. Class list, of course. This dot drawer dot class list. What do I mean, of course? This is not obvious. This dot drawer is null. Since when was that null? Ah, it's because it's still an ID. There we go. Right. What the hell is going on here? Well, of course. Of course. That's what happens when you change things. It's a bit slow for my liking. Where is that animation being defined? I've got this in the style. I've got some animation. Now it's coming from the wing.css third party thing that I'm using. So I'm going to have to override that. Transition. No, it's not. It's there. Perfect. Make it 2. That's snappy. Look at that. It's violent. I mean, I think this leaves a lot to be desired from a UX point of view. I want this header up higher. And I don't like how I have to click here and then move my mouse over here to hide it. This should come with it. This should come, click this button and this comes all the way out here. Feels like, still too dark as well. Should probably just be white, but yeah, basically is. Don't like these things wrapping onto a new row. So yeah, I mean, a modal might be better for many reasons, but I don't hate this. It's interesting. You know what? I don't hate this. So you need to be able to once you load it, it's going to close the drawer. So I'm just going to put that in now to get a full little demo going here. So the presets table, when I load one, I want to close the drawer. So this dot write drawer dot close. Boom, boom. That's nice. So I can load this preset. You know, I don't hate this. Alright, well that'll do for today. Excellent.